Okay, this next part is showing audio waveforms, part of lesson 10. One of the other things, we mentioned the slider here as far as your scalability to view the frames of the waveform in the source window. You can individually look at the left channel or the right channel the same way. If you come to the side here and you grab and click, you can see we can expand the waveform as well to look at it. So that's just another way to kind of check out and get closer to the waveform if there's something that you need to look at. Alright, the book now wants us to open HS John from the Theft Unexpected bin. So we're going to come over here, and here's our drop down, and we'll find HS John. We will double click it. As you can see, it opened a video clip, and of course the video is present. You can visually see that. If you click here, it switches us to the audio view, just like we've seen with the other waveforms. Notice that you have an in and out already set. That's those blue lines right here. So that's the piece that's selected that's actually inside the cut. So you can zoom in to the piece just like we have done before. And you can also zoom here to help visualize the smaller parts where the dialogue was low. That does help out to see that. And sometimes dialogue, if they're quiet talking, is very hard to read in the waveform. So you got to get in closer to see that. Okay, so after you've checked out the audio clip here in the source, you can go ahead and switch it back to video view. And then it wants us to come down to the timeline, and it wants us to go into our settings, and it wants us to make sure show audio waveform option is enabled. So you can right click here, go to the settings here. Sorry, not a right click, it's on the wrench. So you'll want to choose show audio waveforms. This is enabled, it's right here. So if yours is not, go ahead and click that. So mine's fine, I'm going to leave it alone. The next thing it wanted us to do is to make sure that we could see all of our waveform. So just like your audio clips, you can adjust the size of the stuff to make sure it's very visible, and just make sure they're big enough so you can drag that down further to see them, and you can zoom in if you want to see a specific clip. One of the other things it's talking about is the waveform that we're now seeing here in our timeline versus what we saw in our source window is considered a rectified audio waveform, and that's allowing us to see the clips a little bit easier when the volume is low. So remember when we had to zoom in to kind of see this part, you can still see it's reading on here. One of the things it's going to tell us to do is to click the menu here, and then it's going to have us unclick the rectified audio waveforms. And now you can see it that way, so it's unrectified. Basically you can see it works well for louder clips, but now this here just looks like it's smushed together for the lower stuff where they're talking. So that is another way to view it. It just depends on which view is better for you. So come back to menu, and we're going to choose the rectified audio waveform. So you can see again the little bumps here. It's a little bit easier to see this way. So that was another option to do visually for your audio.